Oh, good morning everybody. This is the little Austin 10 Cambridge. Now last night when I came in, or yesterday afternoon when I came in, I noticed drops of oil all down the road. And I've had a look this morning, because I thought there might be water at first, but there's definitely oil. Whether you'll see them on the camera, I'm not sure. But little drops all the way down the road. And at first I thought, well, it must be the sump leaking because there's no pipes or filter on this car. But then when I had a little look, I've noticed that, and it might be difficult to see on the camera, but down there you'll see an oil takeoff which goes up through the bulkhead there, and that's just the lead to the oil pressure gauge. So that's what's leaking, and it looks to me as if that pipe might even be original, in which case it's done pretty well. So I'm going to fix that today. Hopefully I've got some pipe that will do, and then I'm going to get underneath, and I thought I might as well change the oil as well. Now for the oil change, there's a plate there which has a gauze filter, and it's not really a proper filter like a modern filter. It just stops big bits getting into the pickup. And obviously further back there's a drain. So I'm going to drain the oil out, clean the filter, and replace that little pipe. I'm going to use 2050 with low detergent. That's what you want for these cars. If you want to put a straight 30 in, that's up to you, but a 2050 will do the job really nicely, because it'll just give it a little bit quicker build up of oil pressure when it's cold in the morning, and when she gets hot obviously it'll give you a little bit more oil pressure and a bit more protection. Okay, so I'll go and find some tools, sort myself out and get started. I'm trying to do it first thing, and this is facing west so that I'm not going to catch too much of the heat later on. Right, that's the first part of the job done. Should be able to see down there, I've got a little light on it. There's one little pipe leading out the engine. I'm just hoping that it's not leaking at where it joins the engine, but anyway, I can always tighten that up later. What I don't want to do is tighten it up now and over tighten it. So that's one there, and then that's the little connector that goes to the dashboard. Right, I've got the little pipe off. I'm just trying to get the camera down so you can see. That's the little connection onto the engine. Hopefully you can see that, and then there's another connection there which goes to the dashboard. It came off. It was rather a mess when it came off, because it's just broken basically. It's very, very brittle, and the little clamps were, well, you certainly couldn't use them again. But they were basically, it's all done. So I've cut myself a piece of pipe, fuel injection pipe, so it should stand the pressure. And I've got a couple of clips ready to go on, just hoping that bore is going to suit the connections at the end. That's the smallest pipe I've got. Okay, I'll get on with that then. Okay, she started up running. I can't really tell if there's a leak down there, but certainly not pouring out like it was. So I think we've solved the problem. This one up here looks dry, and it was a little while for the oil pressure to come up, but that might be because there was air in the pipe. But it's basically up to about, what's that, about 19. Doesn't seem to move much from there, but as 20 is halfway on the scale, I would imagine that that's absolutely bang on where it should be. Right, I've started draining the oil. I've used a 3/8 socket and a 3/16 socket. I've taken the big drain plug out at the back which is there, and I've started removing the little nuts, the 3/16 nuts that hold the filter plate. I'm going to leave it now because I don't want to get covered in oil while I take that filter plate off, and I'm going to come back in a little while and carry on draining and wash the filter, and then put it all back together. I'm going to try and find a magnet for the drain plug, because then it'll work as a collection for any metallic parts in the engine. See you soon. Right, just to show, this is the sump plate at the bottom here, obviously with the holes for the nuts and bolts, 6. And this is the strainer, which is quite clever in a way because it sits on little feet, so it sits in there like that. And when I took it apart, the bottom of that basket was about a centimetre deep in sludge, and the bottom plate was full of sludge as well. Now I don't know, because I haven't owned this car for very long, how long it is since the last oil change, but certainly if you are changing the oil, then it's well worth taking this off and cleaning the sludge out. I would think probably there was enough sludge in there to fill a decent sized yogurt pot, which is better out than in. Probably the bottom of the sump has got sludge in it as well, but at least if you do this every time you change the oil, you're getting rid of a proportion of that sludge every time you do it. But then again, this is why we don't use a synthetic oil, because we're just going to get all that sludge mobile, and that's what I'm going to use. So it's a 2050 classic motor oil, and it's suitable for classic cars because it's got a low detergent factor in it. You could use straight 30s like that one, it's up to you. I prefer the multigrade because it should get around the engine a little bit quicker, and it should be slightly thicker when it's hot, giving you slightly better oil pressure. Okay, it's all back together now.